Chapter 5. List of cool social sites. Synopsis. Being able to identify and make use of the social sites to encourage more visitors to one's own site would be very beneficial if the individual is highly focused on ensuring the traffic flow for a successful business endeavor. There are a lot of possibilities that should be explored, and having an idea of the more popular social sites would help the individual keep the focus more centered and achievable. The following is a list of most of the more popular social sites currently ranked and certainly worth using to create awareness for the individuals for a great info. Facebook. This social networking site also functions as a service provider where everyone and anyone is able to make a connection with others and get some level of visibility for either themselves or the endeavor intended for attention. After carrying out the relevant steps required, the individual will be able to create the visibility platform that would encourage others to connect if interested in what they perceive to be available on the individual's Facebook account. Twitter. The online social networking service is also another way to get one's profile noticed, and also a way to get other connected with the individual. Ideas and comments are exchanges, and this helps to start some level of interest in the participants' lives and corresponding activities. LinkedIn. This site mainly caters to the more professional side of the connections intended to be made. Most professional connections here are mainly to conduct some level of business relationships, but there are also those who use this social site for other less business-oriented purposes. MySpace. Noted as a social site and at some point surpassed the visitor ratio of other more established sites such as Google, this site also provides the platform for social connections to be made. Chapter 6. The dark side of social sites. Synopsis. As with anything positive, there is also a negative aspect that should be acknowledged in order to be able to consider its merits as any. Therefore, in the quest to understand the somewhat dark side of social sites, the individual should be well aware of the happenings and development impacts the social site implies. These social sites are able to create a huge influence on anything and everything that can be accessed through the online portals. This does have negative impacts on the subject matter, as the influence created is of the negative style. People connecting to such sites would tend to be influenced by the general sentiments shared, thus not really allowing for the individual thought process to take its natural course. The bad side. Beside the influence of information and thought process, there is also the danger of people being so used to connecting online that they are unable to function in normal physical connections. The virtual friendships and relationships can provide the individual with the luxury of virtuality versus reality, and this is more often than not very damaging to the culture of the human existence. This trend is already becoming so prevalent that it is sounding alarm bells for the concerned few who are devoted to monitoring the situation. There is also the danger of business alliances and newfound friendships being destroyed by seemingly insensitive posting, which tend to paint a particular party in poor light. This is possible even if the action is a prank and not meant to be taken seriously. However, is most cases the damage that is done is rather hard to rectify and almost always impossible to recover from, especially when the credibility of the party is now in question. Thus the need to be cautious when forming any liaisons on the social sites. Chapter 7. Build your business communities with social sites. Synopsis. Using the social sites to help build a successful business is very possible if the individual is able to understand the fundamentals involved and utilize them to the optimum. The following are several considerations to address if the individual is interested in using the social site as a tool for business visibility and advancement. Communities. Listen and respond to the voice of your site is something that should not be overlooked or disregarded as unimportant or unnecessary for prompt action. The unprecedented access created by the social access to a huge and infinite customer base requires the consistent monitoring of the business entity, as customers are rather an impatient lot, and if they receive the response within a time frame they consider relevant, the business entity will not be able to establish any level of credibility. Assuming the social media is just a marketing function, instead of a whole business functioning entity, would be a serious mistake on the part of the individual intending to tap into the social sites to create interest and visibility in the business endeavor. All connecting stages of the business entity should be well aware of the impact and response the business is receiving from its featured site on the social site platform, and work accordingly to satisfy all aspects immediately and effectively. Leaving everything to just the marketing team to handle would not be sufficient enough as a overall action plan. Long-term strategies and execution plans should be well thought up, as the social sites will require the complete and ever-evolving participation of the business entity to ensure any and all queries are immediately addressed. Although there is usually the prevailing excitement that causes the individual of often overlook long-term strategies, it would be better to have these mapped out at the very onset of the decision to use the social sites as a tool. Chapter 8. Viral marketing via social sites. Synopsis. Continuity is what is required for the individual intending to use the social sites to create visibility and interest in the business endeavor launched through this platform. However, in order to be able to commence this exercise with the intention of garnering the desired impact, the business individual should be able to adequately exploit all avenues available through this particular platform of social networking. Viral marketing is one way of getting traffic to a site to ensure there is the adequate amount of interest cultivated. Viral web traffic is built through repetition and also through the platform created by a good and strong fan base. The idea of having market continuity to draw attention over a period of time is the aim for the use of the viral marketing tool. This could take the form of many different actions, such as posting blogs with latest content to providing fresh downloads and freebies for the potential visitors to the site. Going viral. Either way, the business individual should be able to come up with ways of drawing the visitors to the site constantly and consistently. When this is successfully done, the site will have the necessary following to create a formidable presence that is not easily shaken and certainly productive. Going viral would require the site to be concisely built on credible and interesting material that is attention-grabbing and worth discussions. Going viral will ensure the attention given to the site will eventually contribute to its popularity, thus helping to convert this to eventual revenue earned. Ultimately, the viral social marketing tool will only be as effective as the time and effort put into the material posted on the site, thus ensuring the high quality and speed of the new material posted would be advantageous. Chapter 9. The surefire strategies to succeed with social sites. Synopsis. Identifying the particular social site to be used should be done according to the possible positive attributes the site will eventually extend. Using Facebook as an example, the individual would be able to expect the elements such as the increase of website traffic, the ability to create the necessary buzz for the business or brand recognition, being able to connect with past, present and new clients, and also have the advantage of recruiting new interested parties for the possible expansion of the business entity. Having success. Other positive contributions may include being able to engage in network and friends or fans, the increase of the fan base and the ability to promote the page and to keep the content updated and consistent. As for sites such as LinkedIn, there are also attributes that would be considered beneficial, such as being able to engage and connect with like-minded professionals, requesting endorsements from past clients and satisfied customers to be posted at the site for the perusal of all, participating by allowing visitors to answer questions and having interactive activities, connecting with LinkedIn, profiling with other social media account that could add to the benefit and thus create the needed attention for success. Basically, any exercise that would help promote the site would be welcomed, as the potential to increase revenue earnings from the exposure created. Wrapping up. There are several different Issues that should be clearly understood by the user before making the decision. To consider social sites as a good marketing strategy for the business. Intended. Behind. The idea of using the social sites should ideally be questions on what and why the target audience should ultimately consider a particular site. When these are clearly outlined, then the individual will be able to make the informed decisions necessary to ensure the social site used would benefit the business. You have gotten lots of info here to get started.